Please welcome the WGAE Vice President of Film, Television, and Streaming, and the most recent recipient of the Richard B. Jablow Award for Service to the Guild, Lisa Takeuchi Cullen.
Hi, friends. I don't have jokes. I have 0 jokes. Thank you. Tonight, I have the great honor of presenting the Richard B. Jablow Award for devoted service to the Guild. And I have the great fortune of presenting it to a person I know and admire deeply, my friend, Penelope Koechl. In preparing these remarks, I thought about telling you of Penelope's career as a star writer for some of the greatest soap operas of our times, Another World, As the World Turns, The Guiding Light, Not All My Children. I'm sorry, Susan Lucci. Penelope just didn't write on that one. That's a good one, though. I thought of telling you about her leadership roles in the Guild. First joining the Strike Committee, which was what the Captain's Network used to be called, and then serving on council for 5 terms, starting in 1988 and ending in 2006. And then for the last 6 years, serving as chair of the Elections Committee. But in thinking about Penelope, I got to thinking about service, in particular, service to our Guild. Ours can be a flashy business, but service to the Guild doesn't have to be. Service to the Guild, a lot of times, means just showing up and raising your hand and saying, hi, I'm here. What can I do? In a couple weeks, I and my fellow officers and members of the Negotiating Committee of the Writers Guilds East and West will walk into a room in Sherman Oaks to defend the value of our work. And we will demand our worth. So maybe this is a great time to remind ourselves that our work, our writing, our art, isn't our only value, right? We can also give our time, our energy, our boundless creativity to helping each other, our fellow writers, in service of our Guild. We can raise our hands, like Penelope did and continues to do, and say, hi, I'm here. What can I do? And with that, I present you, Penelope Koechl, with the Richard B. Jablow Award.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you to the Awards Committee for this honor. Well, I wish I could say that my first foray into Guild affairs was born of a virtuous desire to help my fellow man. But the truth is, way back in 1988, the Writers Guild was barely on my radar. I just landed my first big job writing for the soap opera As the World Turns, and I was totally consumed with the workload and the weekly deadlines. So imagine my shock when I woke up the morning of March 7th to discover that the Writers Guild had gone on strike. It was, and still is, the longest strike in the Guild's history, 5 months without a paycheck. I was scared, isolated, and potentially broke. So when I saw a notice for a strike committee meeting at Guild headquarters, I thought, great, this is a way for me to get more information. But when I walked into the Guild's conference room, I discovered that the strike committee was, in fact, the member-driven committee that was leading the strike on the ground. A dozen writers were already sitting around a big conference table. They were whip-smart, funny, opinionated people. I really liked them. The longer I sat there with them and the Guild staff, the more supported I felt. So I joined the strike committee. And the next thing I knew, I was helping to shape Guild policy, organizing actions, and walking picket lines. By the time the strike was over, I'd learned so much about the inner workings of the Guild and how I could affect change that it seemed foolish to waste that knowledge. So I ran for the council and got elected. It just snowballed from there, one council term after another, committee after committee. Once you start, you can't stop. There's actually a name for this journey I've taken with the Guild, a term coined by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, wise selfishness. It's that sweet spot where self-interest meets altruism, where, while helping yourself, you also help others, and everyone benefits. So frankly, I feel like an imposter accepting this award because the Writers Guild East has done far more for me, professionally and personally, than I've ever done for it. I know many of you here volunteer your time and talents. All I can say is, keep at it, be wisely selfish, and one day, if you're very lucky, you may even get an award for it. Thank you.